Welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up a Presearch node. I'm setting up this node for one of my passive income streams for Project 100K. This is an excellent starter node if you're a beginner because the cost to enter is very low and it'll be up and running fairly quickly. I put timestamps in the description below if you want to jump back or forward or to a specific spot in the video. So let's take a look. So what is Presearch? Presearch is a decentralized search engine. So that means instead of it being hosted on a corporately owned server in specific locations, it's actually being hosted on thousands of computers around the world. And we're going to be setting up one of those computers right now. The benefit of doing this is every time someone searches on Presearch and it touches your node, you're going to earn a token for hosting that. Presearch was launched in 2017 and has been growing steadily since. In January of last year, 2021, it had achieved 500,000 searches a day. And just now in November, it had smashed through over 100 million searches. So this is the main page for the Presearch website. It's presearch.org. So if I just do a search here for the Toronto Raptors, my favorite team, I just hit search and it's automatically going to give me the Presearch results. So if you're not happy with the results that you got pulled here, you're able to search Google within the same page and just click on the link over here on the left-hand side. It'll automatically give you the Google search results. Also, you have the options to search for other things like YouTube. You can use DuckDuckGo, which is more of a secure search. You have Etherscan if you're looking for something more related to crypto. And then you also have CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap if you're looking for specific tokens. And you can search Twitter, and there's more options here as well. You also have all these other options for different search engines, maybe some you don't even know about are also listed here. And then you can define it in categories such as shopping, or if you want to search on social media, maybe music or an image that you're looking for, crypto, and so on. It goes all the way further down and down. It actually helps you define your search further if you're looking for something very specific, and I think it's a wonderful feature. Now that you know a little bit about Presearch and the background of it, let's take a look at setting up a node. To set up the node, we're going to do it in 5 different steps. The first one is to set up a Presearch account. Once we have our Presearch account, we're going to go ahead and go to an exchange and buy some Presearch tokens. Now I'm going to be using Kucoin in this example, but you can use any exchange. I'm going to list some of the exchanges below. I'll also link them in the description below. Once we have purchased our Presearch tokens, we're going to go back to our desktop. We're going to create some secure keys. Now this is an additional step. It's optional, but it's going to help for a nice, smooth, secure transfer of data. The fourth one is to create a hosting account and set up the server with a pre-configured file. Once we have that done, we're going to be doing the last step, which is transferring our tokens to our node and connecting our node to the network. Those are the steps that we're going to be taking, so let's begin. So I'm at the Presearch website, and the first thing here I'm going to do is create a new account. So I'm going to click on join, and it's going to ask for a few details here, so I'll provide it right now. And check this, and click on sign up. And I'm going to go to my account. Okay, so in the menu, we're going to go to manage nodes, and it's going to bring us to the dashboard right now. And you can see that I have nothing available right now in my account. I have 0 tokens staked and I have 0 available. You can buy directly from the website. I'm in Canada. I'm using a Canadian credit card. When I tried to do it, I ran into some issues. You may or may not run into the same problem. So you do have the option to buy it directly off the site. They can perform the transaction for you. I think the fees are somewhat reasonable, but you'll have to look into that. If you're not able to do that, you're going to be following the next step, which is to buy the Presearch tokens off the Kucoin exchange. Okay, we're logging into our Kucoin account. Now, if you don't already have a Kucoin account, I will give you some instructions how to do that. All right, so that is done. And now I'm ready to buy some Presearch. We're going to be buying it using USDT, which is a stable coin that mirrors the US dollar. Now, if you don't already have any USDT, you can go into this menu up here and you can buy it either using a bank account or a credit card or a third-party exchange. So you have these 3 options right over here. Let me just go into fast buy so you can just see what it looks like. When you get into here, what you do is you select the USDT option at the top, and then you can enter in the amount, and then you can buy it. You have to enter in your credit card information, then you can transfer your currency into that. I'll also link in the description below other exchanges around the world that might be better for you. How much pre do you have to buy? Well, you have to have at least 2,000 pre staked in your node for it to be running properly. The magic number that I came up with is 2,200 pre, which I'll be purchasing today. That's to cover any fees I may incur while I'm transferring it in and out of my accounts. The current price of pre is 34 cents. Of course, it's going up today, 34 cents, and I'm going to need to buy at least 2,200 of pre. So I'm going to need to have at least 740 USDT. Right now, I'm going to transfer USDT into my Kucoin account so I can make this purchase. Okay, so you can see that the money I've transferred has now shown up and it is in my main account. So I just got to transfer it over to the trading account so I can trade with it. So main account, trading account, maximum amount, and then click on confirm. And it's poof, gone from here. Gonna go into my trading account and poof, it shows up. So now we're gonna go over to the trading platform and buy some pre. So you can go into trade, spot trading. It's gonna take us over. And right now it has BTC USDT listed. We're just gonna click on the link up here and we're gonna type in pre, hit enter, and we have the pre/USDT. That's the one that we're gonna be selecting and we're ready to go. I just have to input my trading password right now. And there we go. It's now enabled and now I can buy some pre. So you can go ahead and set a limit price if you want to be very specific on what you're buying. I'm going to go ahead and just buy it at the market. And what the market price means is I'm just going to be buying at the current available price right now, which does fluctuate. So it's going to give me the best market price and 34.5 cents. Just update this. So 0.345 times, I want to buy 2,200 pre. So I'm going to need $759 there. So I'm going to be using $759 of USDT to buy pre. It's not going to give me exactly 2,200, but this is an estimate just to cover those transaction fees that we're going to incur later on. So our order is placed. So I'm going to go back to my main account. Actually, I should have went over to my trading account. So here's my trading account. So now I'm going to be moving this from here. I'm going to be moving all my pre. Confirm. There's no cost to move it internally from one account to the other account, if you're wondering that. And now we have everything ready. So now I can send this to my pre node. So now we're going to be downloading Putty to create an SSH key. This is a recommended step for added security. Again, this was taken from Andy. I'm following his steps for this part as well. I know I've shortened a lot of the things that he's done, but this start part I believe is important for security overall. Definitely recommend you do it. It's not required if you are going to set up this node. So you're going to go ahead and click on Putty and we're going to download it. There's many different versions available. The 64-bit x86, click on that and it's going to download the installer. And then I'm going to click on that and it's going to go ahead and install it. We'll just click on install next for everything and then install. So you can just say yes to the prompt if you get it, and we don't need to see the README file. We just click on finish. Okay, so we have it downloaded and installed. I'm just going to minimize my browser here, and what we're going to do is open up the Putty gen because we're going to generate a key. So that is the app. Now that we have the app open, we're going to generate a key, and all you have to do is click on generate, and then you're going to move your mouse over this area all over crazy, and it's going to generate a code for you. There we go. So now it's generated this, and what you want to do next is create a passphrase. So you go ahead and type it in here. Alphanumeric is definitely recommended if you're doing this. And I'm going to just type it in again. So we're going to be leaving the parameter of RSA selected, and we're going to be saving the public key and the private key. So we're going to first save the public key, and I've just created a folder on my desktop where I'm going to save everything. So we'll just type in Presearch SSH. Just put in pub for public, and then we'll save it. And then we also want to save a private key. So save that, Presearch SSH private. Okay, so we've saved both of them now, and they're in our Presearch folder right over here. Everything I'm doing right now, I'm not covering anything up right now because these are not the actual keys I'm going to use. This is just so you can see the full process work its way out. Here we are at upcloud.com. Now, upcloud is going to be the hosting website that we're going to be using right now. It's going to host our node, our server, in the cloud using their servers. You can use any cloud service that you want. Now, the instructions that I'm using is using upcloud, and that's what I'm providing right now. You can use any other service that you're more comfortable with. I'll put a link for this in the description below. With that link, you get $25 credit. So that'll save you about 5 months worth of service because we're going to be using the basic package here. So what we want to do is sign up here. So we're going to click on the sign up link, and then you're going to put in all your user information. And if you have a promo code, I believe I'll put that in the description, just something to help out. So once you have your account information, you can scroll down a little bit further here. It's going to ask for your billing information. Even with the credit, you should still add about $5 to $10. So it funds the account so you don't have any issues running the service. Once that's complete, you can go ahead and click on Start Now, and you can jump over to the next step, which was when you get to the dashboard of the service. So I went ahead and I made a transaction on it. So I have some money in my account. What you want to do is make sure that you do have some money in your account. Credit will get applied after. I just added 10 bucks right now. My total is now $35. You're going to need something in your account because you're going to get server errors if you don't. And once you have that done, you're going to click on servers, and we're going to go ahead and now we're going to deploy a server. So we can click on deploy server. So now you're picking a server, and this is going to be location based. I'm in Canada, just outside of Toronto. So New York is actually going to be the closest one to me. I'll be selecting the US NYC one, and then we'll scroll down a bit here, and we're going to be selecting a plan. And we don't need a whole lot for this. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to be selecting the cheapest one, which is just $5. So this makes it a little bit more economical for a lot of users. And you can select that one, and then you can scroll down a bit here, and we have the option for storages. Inside the storage section, we're leaving it as is. We're not going to be touching it. Automatic backups, we're going to leave that as well. The operating system that we're going to be using here is going to be the Ubuntu or Ubuntu, however you pronounce it, Ubuntu server 20.04. That's the one that we're going to select here. Okay, and now we're going to scroll down a little bit further. We're going to skip past the optional area, and now we have the SSH keys. So we have that selected, and we're going to click on new. And in this section over here, the first thing you want to do is give it a name, and I'll just call it Presearch SSH key. And we're going to switch over to Putty. And inside Putty, you're going to highlight this whole section over here, copy it, and then you're going to paste it in here. And I'm blurring this out right now because I'm using a separate one. I'm not actually using the one I'm showing you in this example. And once you have that, you can click on Save Key. So we have that saved, and it shows up over here. And now we're going to scroll down a bit here. And this is where we're going to get a script. Now the script, again, I'm using from Andy. I'm going to copy and paste that, make sure it's linked in the description below. It helps automate the entire process, so you don't have to go through the manual steps of adding each individual step. So this is the script over here. Only thing that we're going to be changing is the section over here that says your code here. We're not taking away the equals. We're not taking away the space / Presearch node. We want to leave everything as is. We're just replacing this one section. So where we're going to get that is we're going to switch back over to our Presearch node, and at the node dashboard, you have the node registration code here. If you click the little eyeball, it'll show it to you. Because this is confidential, I'm not going to be showing mine. You just need to click on the copy button, and once it's been copied, you can go over here and then you can paste it in. So I'm going to put it in here, and I'm just going to paste it in that highlighted area. So now it's in here. I'm blurring it out so you can't see it. You'll have your own unique code that you're going to be pasting in there. Again, we're not removing the equal signs or the space after. Now what we can do is we can just highlight the entire thing, and then we can copy it, and then we're going to switch back over to UpCloud where it says the initialization script, and we're going to click on here and we're going to paste it in. Once it's pasted in, what you can do is you can save it, which is probably a good idea. So if I'm going to save mine right over here by clicking on the button here, and I will call it Presearch auto install. Okay, and I'm going to save it. So the next time I run a server, if I add more, it'll be loaded here, and I'll just have to click on the down arrow, and there it is. So it just automates things. Again, this is all about saving time and making things easier for you. So I recommend following that step. The last step is to just give it a name. So right now it has this gibberish name here that gives you the type of server and the city that it's being deployed to, but we can just delete it and give it something more meaningful so we know what it is. So I'll just call this Presearch node 001. Not that I'm going to be putting a ton of them out there, just something easy for me to reference to. Once you have the name in here, you can go ahead and click on deploy, and there we go. This script will now run in the background. So you can see right over here, it's being executed and deployed right now. The script that we had entered, it'll follow all the steps in there and deploy the server as we had specified. This will take a few minutes for it to happen. As we let UpCloud spin up and configure our server automatically, we can now move over to Kucoin and transfer our Presearch tokens into our node. At the Presearch node dashboard, I'm going to be clicking on the transfer button over here in the corner. And I'm going to be selecting the first option, which is from blockchain, and I'm going to request a deposit address. And then you'll get a QR code and an address over here. So now we can go ahead and we can copy it, and then we can go back to our Kucoin account. Okay, so I'm back at Kucoin. I'm going to click on withdraw, and I want to select the coin, which is Presearch. There it is. And I'm going to be selecting that. And then I'm going to be entering in the wallet address that I just copied. So paste it in here. The network you're going to select, there's only ERC20, so you have to select that one. And the amount that you want to send here, I'm going to be selecting the maximum amount. Okay, so it looks like everything is is now completed in here. No remarks are required. So check and recheck, make sure your address is correct. We can just click on confirm withdraw. It's going to want to do the 2FA password. Okay. And we'll click on submit. My pre has now disappeared from my Kucoin account. It's in the cyberspace and it should eventually show up inside my Presearch account. Yeah, so I'm going to pause the video right now and we'll jump to the next step. And now I'm going to check to see if my pre has been moved over to my node. So I'm just going to refresh the page here and check it out. And there we go. So we have over 2,000 pre available now, which is great. We're ready to roll. And now we can move on to the last step, which is connecting our node to the network and staking our Presearch tokens. So it looks like it's been deployed now. This does usually take a few minutes, 5 to 10 minutes for it to happen. Now, this may not necessarily mean it's been immediately executed and connected with Presearch. So I'm just going to switch back over to my Presearch dashboard. And when it actually does connect and we have progress on this side, we'll see the node load up down here at the bottom. Right now we have nothing. Even if I select all, nothing's over here. So you just have to keep refreshing this, maybe walk away, come back in about a half hour or so. Okay, that happened actually fairly quickly, not even a minute. And looks like it is already here. So scroll down here, you can see all nodes, and this is the one that I had just created. So now that we have it over here, you can see that there's no status right now for it being connected. There is no Presearch being earned. Basically, this is a fresh start. So we're going to click on this little pencil over here so we can do some editing to it. And there's just a few things that we want to do. The first thing that we're going to do is the pre-staked amount. Now, the minimum that you need to do is put in 2,000. So I'm going to put in 2,000. If you have more than 2,000, I haven't been told there's an advantage to doing it. So putting in the 2,000 is probably best. A little bit over, you can leave it for the next server that you might set up. And now what you want to do is give it a description. I'm going to give it the same name that I have over here, so it's just easily found. So Presearch node 001, just so they're related. Presearch 001. Okay, so it has the exact same name, and external URL, we're not going to be putting anything in there, but to send an email on disconnect and reconnect would definitely be advised to have this so you get alerted if it ever goes down, and then you can try to troubleshoot it from there. Consider disconnected after 5 minutes. That seems reasonable, so I'm going to leave it as is. And once you have all that relevant information entered in here, we can then click on update, and we're going to click on update, and it says node updated. And let's go back to the node list now, and then we can see that we have our Presearch node 001 now listed. That's a new label that we gave it, the date that it was created. We have it that it's connected over here. We have the version number over here and the 2,000 tokens that we have put in, which we just put in. So no searches have been done. No, nothing's been earned. This just happened. So we're ready to go. Our Presearch node is now set up. So that's it. That's all you have to do. As time progresses, you'll get total searches that'll start increasing. A reliability score will also be assigned to you and how much pre you've earned over that period of time. I'll be doing regular updates so you can see the progress of this node as well if I add other ones. And if you scroll up to the top over here, when you do earn something, you have a section over here called unclaimed pre-earned. You can click on that, and what it'll do is it'll move it over into your wallet, and you can keep it there. You can send it out. You can do whatever you want. My plan is to accumulate it and reinvest it. So if I keep getting more and more pre, what I'll do is I'll just run more and more servers. The goal is to have at least 5 up and running. One other thing that I can recommend is that you bookmark this page, because you want to come in here every so often to check out the status of your server, make sure everything's running accordingly. Also check out if your earnings are aligned with where you're expecting them to be. And if you're going to be setting up more, you can just follow these easy to follow steps. Links are all going to be in the description below. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. A lot of this stuff is new to me as well, and I'm learning as I go along. And if I run into any issues, I'm going to be definitely posting about them and letting you know the ups and downs of running a Presearch node. So far, it seems like a great investment. It's still pretty early on, and there's a lot more opportunity where they're going with this project. If you found this useful, please drop a like. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.